Okay, everybody, welcome back. We're going to start the assembly of Prusa XL. The assembly instructions are found online. You give a QR code with the initial paper that was given in the packaging. So I'm going to download this and then start assembling. Welcome back, everybody. 3D printing at home. I'm Mike. We're going to be assembling the original Prusa XL printer. So as of right now, on these steps, the only thing we need is the 2.5 and 3 millimeter Allen wrenches. I'm just going step by step here. We're going to need our XL base, the M4 by 12 screws, extrusions, left axis fixed, left axis rotary. All right, so that's what we're going to be using. All right, so we're going to fit the pins into these holes. There's little fixtures here. And there's holes actually in the extrusions base. So next, we're going to line these guys up. So do is look for these. There's 2 holes at the bottom, 2 holes on the top. These are where you're going to put your screws through to mount it to the base. So we can make sure we're in the right place. But if you don't have the hole lined up, it's not going to sit right. And that's what that's saying in the instructions. If you have this down here, it's not going to fit all the way in. You're going to be right with the recessed holes. It's perfectly in. If you don't line up that hole with the pin on this pin here, then what will happen is it's going to sit higher. It's not going to sit nice against the base. You'll still be able to thread it, but it's not going to sit right, and then you're going to have big problems later on. So make sure that it's sitting nice in that recessed hole. I came unprepared. I did not get the screws ready. I got everything else except for the screws. M4 by 12. That's M4 by 12. That's the one. 3 and 3, 3. I found it. Okay, so there's a lot of they want that how many screws are in now. So we're going to pull this one out. Put this back. Go get the stuff. All right, so what I'm going to do is grab again scissors. All right, we'll try this again. We don't want to put it back because screws are with us. Because of the fact that we only need 8 screws, we don't need all 18. Right, now we have 8. I'm placing this aside. Because they're open, I want to be careful with them. Put them in a safe spot. Now, I'm going to take the 3 millimeter Allen. Oops. In my giant fingers. And you're just going to carefully place that screw in. So that was a nice and snug. Go ahead and tighten those down. I can do some more so I'm not going to go crazy. Sorry. I'm going to go this one. Now, the other reason why I'm using this Allen wrench like this, because there's a ball end on it. I don't know if you can see that. Put this ball in so you can get in the screw at a slight angle and still be able to turn it. I'm doing something like this. See the angle on that? That's pretty much the angle the best angle you're going to get on this. Okay, now, double check this one. There you go. Perfect. Now, good. Now, I'll put these guys in. I believe I want to do just the left one in. I'm putting them both in because we'll do like that. Not all preference. But I mean, if you're doing left, then we're right. So there we go. Line them up. We want to make sure it's nice. It's in that hole. Okay, so we want to make sure it's in that hole. It's in the extrusion. There's a hole drill right here in this extrusion. And same thing, all 4 spots. So now I'm going to pull this bad boy down. I probably should use a little bit of Loctite holes so I don't lose, but I'll watch for that later. If they do come loose, then I'll Loctite as I go. So it's just a precautionary thing. If they do come out, some people might be cautious ahead of time. I usually do. But I do want to, if I do have to fix it, I don't want to feel Loctite. So
not going to do it, because sometimes Loctite will lock it down so tight that you won't be able to get screws out without destroying them. And I don't want to do that. So if they don't come out from vibration, then I'm not going to worry about it. The way this machine's designed, I don't think that this thing's going to rock and roll like the other one too. You know, this thing seems like it's real nice and cheap. They did a really good job designing buildings. You know, like also the class are actually 3D printed parts. So essentially, if you're really good, you can actually design your own class. I haven't got that money for designing. But they can also contact them, and if you broke a class, I'm sure they can print to you and ship to you. It would be nice just to be able to print your own parts. But at the end of the day, it's not that bad to have them shipped to you. It just sucks because they break apart and then you have to wait for it to come all the way from Czech Republic. That's just ships from Prague. You know, you wait everything else to the customs. That can take a while. All right, so I'm gonna move on to the next step.
This build came with a torque indicator, so they're gonna look like this. You're gonna have this piece. Looks like that. I'm gonna try to zoom in a little bit because I think this thing's zoomed out. So, all right, so it looks like this. The handle looks like this. So they want you to insert this Allen wrench into this hole, like that. Locking. Should work. There we go. Put this handle on here. So it looks like that. Okay. Now, basically, we're going to torque this until the wrench bends, which I wouldn't have expected, but that's kind of cool. So it's just a torque adapter, and it's torqued. We'll start to see it bend. Problem is, we get close. Okay, so I'm going to keep torquing this, and you see the wrench start to bend. All right, so make sure you're definitely in that screw all the way. One finger turns. That is a lot of torque on that one screw. So I'm gonna just look at the instructions real quick. So I'm kind of hitting the wall here. Because it's tight, because it's so tight in here, you can't really get a good bite. It's really hard to get in there. Yeah, so basically you want to cover the hole, little slot there with the wrench. So when you reach that point, which I don't take, yeah, that's more tight. I don't know. I don't really like that. I'm only going part way to the hole. I'm not going all the way because I can feel it starting to mess up. So you don't want to strip these things out because there it is, you know, waiting for it. It is a cool idea though to have this little torque wrench, but it's kind of hard. Someone like me, I would prefer having an actual torque spec because I have torque wrenches and I have Allen keys with a square drive in the ball end, and they're long. So for someone like me, it would work out that having an actual torque spec. Now, this guy, you can figure out how to get these up. There we go. What I'm going to do is, and this is probably intended purpose, I just haven't gotten to that point. I'm going to lock this in up here. Because that is a real pain in the biscuits. All right, now let's see. I don't have a good bite. I'm gonna go by feel, I think. Because I don't want to ruin these screws in them right there. I feel like that's plenty. I don't want to go tight, tight, loose. Tight, tight, loose is not a good practice. But I'm gonna do the same thing over here. I'm gonna pull this. Ferret said the instructions to do this because that just would make total sense. So just kind of put these up here. Out of the way. So there again, like I said, I don't want to go tight, tight, loose. So that's not a good time. That's not a happy time. Then I have to call or contact Prusa and be like, hey, I messed up. The little torque wrench felt like it was going a little too tight for a 4mm bolt. I'm getting almost that out of that one. But I'm also hitting the extrusion. That's the other thing you gotta watch out for. You're hitting the extrusion with the tool, with the little plastic torque wrench tool. So I don't really want to do that because that'll also give you a false torque. So I'm going part way behind the line. I think it's a happy medium. It's what I'm comfortable with. Okay, so you saw me slide the torque wrench part off of the Allen key for a second because you're hitting the part of the extrusion over here with the tool with the torque wrench part of it. So I had to slide it back so I could get a little bit more, so I could get another bite over here. With that tool in it, it doesn't really allow you to do that. It's a little bit snug in there. So yeah, I just moved the tool back and then started moving it and then put the tool back and then reused it. Worked out well. So there we go. There's these steps. I'm gonna move on. Right. So for this part, I'm gonna be sitting down because I'm working right here. I'm working on the front panel. There's two nuts in this panel that all right, so I'm working on this part sitting down because I'm working on the front of the machine. Now, there's two nuts in the front of the machine that are mounted into the extrusion. See them right here and here. That's what our screen's gonna mount. Now, I've already pre-assembled cables, and now we're going to mount this thing. I'm gonna look through the instructions here. We need all these pieces. You got all kinds of pieces here. I get into where they go once we find out. Yeah. We also have extrusion covers. We need a 172, a 182, and a 243. So, extrusion covers. These bad players right here. So, this sheet, do not throw the sheet out. This one here that you got with the when you first open the printer. My camera keeps going nuts. Damn, down there, buddy. So inside here is a cheat sheet. It's hard to see, but it shows the different lengths in actual size. So you're gonna match up which one, you're gonna look at what size you need and match it up. Yep, you lost me again. Come on. Hey, down here. All right, so I have a lousy camera man. I said we needed a 172, 182, and a 243. I'm gonna break out the scissors again. I'm gonna try not to touch extrusion covers a lot.